As we bid farewell to the first core of Frieren as the season comes to an end, and with the rankings on my anime list stabilized, I think it's safe to say that by popular opinion, Frieren is now the GOAT of anime. Why is it better than everything else? Wait a second, I gotta make sure that I'm checking through the list properly before I make a large and maybe false sweeping statement that'll get me fried. Shield Hero, cringe, L. Spy Family, not cringe but still an L to Frieren. Okay, we're good. So, what's up with our autistic elf girl that makes her the GOAT? I think we can make it real simple. The anime and the manga tickle the fantasy itch too well. I've read Frieren since it started serializing. It gets so much right, but if we have to focus on the crux of the story, it's the emotional beats, it's the way the story actually captures the age of Frieren. It's the way that they court regret. It's a feeling that everyone has had. Everyone regrets and laments over their failings of the past. It is a given. People linger on their errors. People curse and fixate on the past. But it's Frieren who hardly lingers consciously on the past. If you live that many years, a fixation on the past is essentially a desire for depression. In that stoic face, in the way she approaches life, is where the regret stems.
どうしたフリーレン
私は今の話をしている
After the subjugation of the Demon Lord, she backs off to explore the world, catching up on the years she chilled a little too hard. Of course, she doesn't forget about her promise and returns to Himmel, Eisen, and Heiter for the Century Meteor Set Shower. Her concept of time is different. Difference and imperceivable differences are things where arguments and fractures form. But she has good friends, and a Giga Chad Himmel who doesn't mind their autistic elf girl not understanding. Himmel's passing brings us to one of the realest moments you can have, genuine regret. Frieren laments over not having gotten to know Himmel better. She says it was only 10 years. I've seen couples last shorter and longer than 10 years. It just so happens that for humans, a tenth of our life is about 10 years. It makes the regret so much more tangible, because everyone knows how long 10 years is. I don't think I can name anyone who can hold on to regret as long as Frieren can though. Now, if you're listening and you're saying, he's got a true, you're wrong. I haven't gotten a true. Because it's not explicitly because of the human emotional beats that you're being caught. It's because there's an arc and development for each character as they meander towards their goal. Heiter has grown old and decrepit, yet he's still as crafty as ever. He's grown and changed as a man, less carefree, but his awareness is as acute as ever. Everyone has a comfort piece of media. Frieren isn't mine, but it could damn well be. It's hard to say why you like something sometimes, but everyone has a note that'll make them sob like a baby. For me, it's a predictable arc that always catches me. A parental figure passes and their sacrifice for their child is tangible. That's my weak point. But Frieren brings out the entire surgery toolkit to march around the body of melancholy, meandering and making meaning out of the interactions which some people would call mundane. The emotional aspects are brought forth when the past meets the present, and Frieren is brought to realize an aspect of humanity. An aspect of herself she hasn't yet mastered consciously. Yet, this is only an aspect of why Frieren is GOATed. Sometimes people will claim that some people are zoomers, since they dislike certain stories that are slower paced. But I'd say Frieren is super well paced. Between major arcs, Frieren will meander along a path. Never in a negative way. The story often takes its time to build into world building, or takes its time to show off what's happening in the background. It doesn't neglect these things just to put some random emotional beat. It's just as well planned, and just as well constructed a story, to have the in-between, rather than just the major arcs be well fleshed out. And that's a rare thing these days. It's great writing, and it always manages to capture me, even when it seems that the moment is gonna slow down a bit more than I'm used to. It's these slow moments that provide contrast for the much faster paced arcs. It makes the arcs which are moving quickly feel slower. The amount of chapters which these arcs take are quite quick with how much content is being passed through, but the time it takes to meander through normal content makes these arcs feel longer and more meaty as they continue onwards. And with this pacing, it brings emphasis to these arcs. It's quite a masterclass, really. And, well, the rest is just good writing. I don't have much more to say. I've been trying to pad for 6 minutes.